My best wishes are with you. Okay. Uh, so I know I was away last two couple of weeks, but okay, let's regroup again. So today I was just going. I was thinking to talk about little as a standard BA. Suppose you join in an organization. So as a standard BA practices and to adopt a new project and contribute the best things in your project. What exactly the company will be expecting from you? That's something I just want to talk about today. Still, I can see a lot of confusion in this subject. Okay, so see, these expectations will differ from the candidate. I mean, the BA is experienced BA or a fresher. Definitely, if it's experienced BA, it will be expected you will start establishing a kind of relationship with the client, make a repo with your client, and then slowly engage with them at the level where you will start interacting with them and you will gain their confidence, understand their pain areas, and then try to resolve their pain. Okay, see, uh, nowadays if somebody will say no, no, it's just anybody can do that. No, it's not like that. Okay, you cannot put a sales guy or marketing guy into the business analyst role, or a developer or architect into the business analyst role. Okay, it is having very significant difference. Okay, that is something I will talk about today. Okay, so just let me open some comments. I think I got some kind of comments also, kind of queries. Let me try to answer and then we will jump on our so these queries also very good queries. I mean, it could be with the I don't know many people mind, but just try to just answer. So I mean, if it is already, then well and good. If it doesn't know, go and adapt that. Okay. Uh, what is that? Please bring a video where a project is there. This project is there. I don't know what does it mean. I mean, nobody will going to explain you the real project or something. But yes, today as topic, I just started. Is this is a comment from user TEX. I don't know. This is not a name. So he's trying to say, come up with the video which explains about a project. Okay. So definitely this is a topic I've taken up today. Okay. How you will be engaged in a project. What your role and responsibilities as a BA, as a fresher and as an experience. I will talk both personas as well. Okay. 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 Wireframe use case. So Anju Singh is saying how where I can found the use case. I mean the case studies for creating the user stories wireframe. And there are a lot of available on the Google. There is no need of specific to me. You are asking me to provide these things. You can just Google sample case studies. You will find a lot of case studies. Pick up, and then that you can find in your domain of expertise. And when you have a domain, in which domain case study you want, that you can figure it out. Okay. So I will provide, it might be not matching to your domain. Then what you will do? Okay, so you figure it out, type in the particular domain, which domain case study you want from Google, and then it will show you the result. Okay, and pick up and try it. Okay. Okay, a question tha, why it's not appearing, I don't know. uh, uh, this is nice. Nikhil, I don't know, it may be a question with everybody or maybe specific to him, but let's see. I don't know, Nikhil, you have joined or not, but I have asked you to join today. So, what his question is there any difference between Scrum Master and BA? Or BA has to do the role of Scrum Master? Or it is two different designation hired in the IT companies? This is kind of questions comes when you are not really literally worked in a IT organization where they really follow a hierarchy. Okay, they have specific roles in their organization. If you join a small company, they will ask you to play scrum master role also, because they don't have a fund, they don't have a capacity. They will ask, boss, along with the BA, good, do this thing also. I have played that role in my organization in my early stage of a journey. Okay, so in a smaller organizations, you may require to play both roles. Okay, and rather the difference of these two, yes, there are significant difference between these two roles. Okay, the BA who interacts with the client, get the requirements, create the user stories and epics. Okay, and then I mean creating the backlog, and then again interact with the client to prioritize the backlog and put into the sprint backlog. Okay, so till here, if you see, is a BA responsibility to collect the requirement, create the epic, write the stories, acceptance criteria. It may be required to create a projection plan also, different releases, everything he has to do. But as a scrum master will just to manage the ceremonies. The ceremonies is what? It will start the setting up the meetings, daily stand-up meeting, planning meeting, demo meetings, correct? And also his responsibility is what? If any of his Scrum team member is facing any challenges, obstacles in terms of a technological stack, or is facing some environment challenges or any other team's dependency they are not, no, they are not solving, etc., etc., then they raise this in the daily Scrum, and Scrum Master take that point to that further to resolve it. Okay, so that's the core responsibility of a Scrum Master, if I talk about. Okay, so you might have seen the difference between these two. Okay, but I'm saying if you want to learn the Scrum Master skills, definitely there is no hard in that. Okay, it's a normal thing that within the team it sits, it in and around his whole life sits within the team scrums. Okay, and there is no direct interaction of a scrum master with the client, whereas a BA do that. Okay, so good to have, keep that skills if you have, wherever you get the chance. I'm taking you the real time example. In my current organization, one of the senior BA been asked to work in a project as a scrum master, and he is doing that because currently there is no other project. So there is no harm, I mean to say. You cannot say, no, I'm a BA and then I cannot do the scrum master role. No, no, it's not like that. You can do. Okay, it's a matter of just get some knowledge in that area. Okay, I hope I tried to answer you. Okay, okay. What else? You can chat in, put comments in the chat if you have any questions. Okay, so what I was saying, the the BA, what exactly it has to do. So when he got engaged in a project, so he might be using some tools to create a project plan, tools to create a project plan that you can use your Riley board, you can use AHA, you can use Jira or normal Excel sheet if no other tools are available. So what you have to do, you have to the when you have the scope finalized for your project, then the high level in scope requirements you just try to put into a format of plan means it will be a vertical line where you will be putting all those requirements, the scope, and then you horizontally you can just present this particular requirement is going to be released in which quarter. Okay, so that is something you should be learning in your career. Okay, that will have you to take you to the next level, product management area. So you are a business analyst or product owner. Okay, but you might be learning this skill so that you can enhance your role by adopting the new product management role. So product management role and project or product owner role is slightly different. The product manager or take ownership of this whole product. Okay, and then it creates the whole vision of the project, and then it creates the plans, product level release plans, where the product owner is a part of that product vision. it might be taking one set of vertical of the whole product. The product may be big, right? It not be like only one team can do everything. If it is, that is also, but it is aligning to the product vision only. Okay, or if it is a simple small project, then only one PO will be working and one team will be working under that umbrella. If it is a big product you are developing, it might be a multiple teams along with the multiple product owners working in that umbrella. Okay, so once the product vision is defined and plan, then you have to adopt whatever your vertical, your piece of work. You need to plan your piece of work release plan according to the product main. So that something is really crucial, and people wants to see from you when you work in a project. Okay, tools I said you is AHA, Riley, Jira, or if it is not available anything, you can use Excel sheets. No problem, right? It's just how you are presenting your thoughts. Okay, so in Agile and all, it gives this flexibility. You can use any tool. Now, SharePoint. SharePoint is a tool. You might be hearing that a lot of job descriptions in a company's knowledge of SharePoint. How to use a SharePoint? I think I'm talking this particular topic very first time. So whoever have not joined, they might be listening this video later. SharePoint is a tool. It is very specific to the organization, and it is treated or used to collaborate your project specific documents. Okay, so across the organization, so SharePoint is a SaaS based product. Okay, so it is from Microsoft. So once you will be having that license, you can create your projects inside that, and you can, in the project, you can allocate resources to that project with the ability of CRUD operation. You can define that. Okay, so when you define that, when the user will take login, and it is SSO based again, so your company login ID will work in that login also. It's SSO. SSO, you might understand, right? Single sign on. So when you take the login in your system, and when you click on this one, right, SharePoint, then you will be redirecting without taking further login into that one. Okay, so that's the SSO. So that is to, so when, what is your responsibility in that? So you should be collaborating all your document in the SharePoint rather than in your local system. See, the advantage of SharePoint is what, and disadvantage of keeping the documents in your local system. Let me tell you. So if you keep the document in your system, assume that there is no SharePoint. So every time when you make any changes, you want to send it for review, you have to keep on versioning, you have to keep on small changes and keep versioning. And then you have to again send that, attach that copy, newly updated copy. If there's one line change also, you have to attach a new copy, send across to all the people, and then they will again download in their local system. They will make changes. It will send this, they will send to back. Example, the complicated scenario, there are 5 people who are reviewing. One person has made one changes, second person made another changes, third, fourth, fifth, that all 5 people made some or other changes in your document. They sent you all different five documents through email to you, and then you are receiving 5 emails with the same document with their changes, right? So how you will accommodate? Again, you have to accommodate all those 5 changes into one document. This is a really important thing I'm telling you guys. Okay, so again, you have to open, you have to figure it out. If he's not declared that what changes he has made in the email, then it will be very complicated. You have to call them, you have to set up a meeting, what changes you have made, and etc. etc. So maintaining maintenance is very high. If you work a document from your local system, it is very hard for review and hard to manage. So now the advantage of SharePoint. So when you upload a document in the SharePoint, you can give the permission. It's a view permission, or edit permission, right? If you give the view permission, a receiver can only view it. He cannot delete, he cannot modify, he cannot do anything. He just can view. When you edit, they can go and edit your document or add their comments in your document. Okay. So how the SharePoint works? You upload a document. You can share to whom you want to share. You can just write their emails and send it. The recipients will receive the email with that document link. So they will open the document in the SharePoint only, because they all belongs to the. I mean, they're all same organization. If it is external, I will come on that point. Okay. If it is within the organization, it is review is happening. So they are all the SharePoint access, because they belong to the same organization. They will open the document within the SharePoint. They will make the changes, save it in SharePoint only. Another reviewer, he is also open the document in the SharePoint. He also making the changes and he will save in the SharePoint only. So it is not like it will create different copies, because they are opening the same document again and again. Everybody is working on the same document same time. That's the goodness, or you can say the quality of the SharePoint, the benefit of the SharePoint. So they've all made the changes through SharePoint. It is all the changes already incorporated within the same document, and then later you can just view and see everything is the same document. You can put your comment, or you can say okay, done, review done, and send it to client. The typical scenario comes when you want to share this SharePoint document with the client. So the SharePoint is very organization specific. So you cannot share your internal organization document through SharePoint to the external bodies, because their SharePoint, they are using different credentials and all that. So that doesn't happen. So you have to in that scenario, if your client you what you can do, if your client also, you can add into your SharePoint access, and then they can log in. So you have to create their account also in that one. Then it is possible. But if the client organization is using the SharePoint with the different setup, different credentials, they will not be open to your SharePoint folder document. They cannot. Okay. The two choices: either you bring that user, client user, into your organization. You can give the edit or view access, create the credential for that user also, so he can log in your SharePoint with that credential and access that document, give the review or whatever. Otherwise, you send that final document through email, attach and send it. Okay, that's the way. So, or suppose you are working in a team, a Microsoft team. I mean, but that is also organization specific. I mean, it doesn't work. Your team folder access cannot be with the other client team access, even though they are using Teams, Microsoft Teams, but it not be possible. Okay. So that something is really important, guys. I mean, day-to-day activity. And if you say no, I don't know what is the SharePoint. No, it's not the case. Hey Adil, thanks for joining. I've been asked questions by interviewer. How do you handle conflicting priorities from stakeholders? बहुत अच्छा questions है. बहुत अच्छा है. See, the conflict management is a very tricky thing, and then everybody got the question right. Let me repeat again. So he's asking, how do you handle conflicting priorities from stakeholders? So so take example, if one client is one of your client stakeholder is saying no, I want to prioritize this feature, another one is saying to prioritize this feature. So how which user story or feature you will be taking up to priority? Which one you taking to your sprint? Okay, or program increment? Okay, so it's very simple actually. You need to understand first what they are trying to say. You understand that, and figure it out. What is that time criticality and business value this feature is giving? So architect might be sitting and he's saying no, I want to do this one, and some other person from security, they are coming, no, I want to resolve this feature because it's a security compliance issue. And then product owner from the client side might be saying no, boss, You have to do this one because client is waiting. Our users are waiting to see this feature in the production live. So this is the kind of a conflicts you might be receiving, and you don't have a capacity to take everything in your PI. That's the challenge, right? See, priorities are priorities. If you don't have a team, then it's a challenge. Otherwise, you can take everything if you have a capacity. If you have a capacity to bring more people in your team, take everything, whatever they are saying. Instead of three features, you will be handling five features in that particular sprint or PI. Correct? But take example, you don't have a capacity, you don't have a further team to handle the extra feature or user story. Then what you will do? That's why these things comes. We have a one business value. Okay, visual session we call this actually. Weighted job sorted first. If you don't go into that line also, but it's a very tricky. You simply ask, what is the time criticality? Allocate some point. What is the time criticality? Why you are seeing this is so urgent? Out of 10, what is the time criticality you are thinking? Then business value. Okay, what is the business value it is giving? You give some point. Okay, risk reduction. So these all terms I'm talking from the user perspective. What kind of risk it is reducing? Out of 10, what the point you are going to give to this feature? Okay, and job size. So job size is like what is the effort required to implement this feature that you can take with your engineering team, not from the stakeholder. The stakeholder will not give the job size. So you can ask these three things from client and one thing job size from your team. Add the first three things values, divide by the job size, whatever the number is coming, put on the table and see which feature is having the high number. Okay. So whichever feature is a high number, that's the priority. You can say, boss, whatever you say, this is what is coming. I will take this feature for implementation because I don't have further capacity. Whatever you want to do, do it. But this is the priority. There is no further discussion. Yeah. If you want after this priority things, if you want to recheck your values you have given in the features, again sit again you give the numbers. If it is changing the priority, so ultimately you are asking those things from the client itself. You are nobody to say which feature is important or a priority. Which feature is the priority for you? Every valid feature is a priority. Every valid feature is a priority and you have to take up into this sprint or coming sprint. But if client is saying, no, no, in upcoming sprint, you have to take this one only. And other is saying, no, no, I want to take this one. Other one is saying, I want to take this one. Then it's a problem. So you put the ball game, you have to put the ball into their court only and ask these questions, do this segregation, come up with that value and say, this is what is coming, boss. I'm going to take this feature only. There is no further discussion or, nothing. That's the way you can handle. Okay. All types of fresher के लिए इंटरव्यू में क्या पूछते हैं सर? Okay. Okay. I've created a lot of videos on these topics, all types of sorts. I don't know what is your name, but thanks for asking this question. So fresher के लिए क्या पूछते हैं? See, first of all, if you're getting a call as a fresher, I mean, companies nowadays, very tricky. I don't know seriously, but they are they look for a fresher definitely for mostly in the engineering side, but from the BA side they also look, but not that much. You can say they're having a requirements, okay? Because a BA is something who's front facing since inception. I mean the join, or he want to interact with the client and start contributing in the project. But if the company is having that hierarchy, you are going in a mid level or a big organization, you'll not be put in front of a client on day one. That's the benefit you will get if you are a fresher and joining an IT organization. They will put you as a shadow resource. Shadow resource means you will be working and learning under a senior BA, lead BA, or principal BA. You will be understanding the standards, the documentation style, interaction, because you're fresher, right? You're just coming out from a college. You don't know how to talk to the client, what kind of with emotions or attitude you have to reach to the client. Okay, so talking to client is a very tricky and very, kind of, it's not like you're talking to any other person in your friend circle, or in your local city, colony and all, your uncles and all. So it's a tricky thing. There is a professional way to approach to client, respond their queries, respond on their arguments. Okay, so there is a proper method. Okay, so that's why we call it, a BA has to make a relationship with the client, establish a rapport with the client. Once you establish the rapport, you can also sometimes try to talk in a normal friendly approach also, but otherwise most of the time you should be talking very professional with your client. Okay, so if you're joining in a middle level organization or good organization, top level organizations, you will be putting as a shadow resource. You will not be directly interacting with the client at least for 3 4 months. Okay. So the questions they will ask when they hire the fresher BA is the communication skills. Definitely, they will check your com skills. So the people who are still afraid talking in English, writing in English, okay, reading this. I think you should start hard on that thing. Okay, you should start. See, I am also, Hindi medium. Till intermediate, it was a Hindi medium. Okay, so I was also faced. I also faced a lot of challenges during my initial career. Even when I was doing the BTech, I did BTech IT. Okay, so that time also suddenly from the UP board, I was from UP, so UP Hindi medium. So when I when I came out from the that board and joined a BTech. So BTech, everything is English, right? The books, everything is English. Even the professors were talking in English only in the classrooms. Laboratories, everybody talk in English only. And when you come from the small cities, go to the NCRs and all big cities, the people you see in and around, your colleagues and all, there might be convent schools. They might be from DPS or kind of convent schools. Their English is definitely, their vocabulary are good, their way of talking is good, and then you are learning. So the people problem with the Hindi medium people is to first they think they translate the Hindi sentence in English, and then they have a problem with the vocabulary. They got stuck. So you have to little work hard, and then because this is the very first thing interviewer will check with the fresher BA, because BA are the front facing to the client. Okay, and the client are not like always to your local Indian. It may be from US, maybe from European country, maybe from Australia, or maybe from Asian countries. Okay, or Gulf. Okay, so across the globe they could be from anywhere, and then if you don't understand how to talk, the common skills, you will be, how you will respond to them, right? Because sometimes you need to argue also, argue in a proper way, right? And not like you know what I'm saying. So you need to prove yourself, your point to the client, and you need to take client consent on your thought. So you need to sometimes argue with the client also. Okay, you can do these things when you comfortable in talking in English. Okay, so do kind of a group discussions within your colleagues, your friends, wherever you are. Okay, that will give the confidence. Okay, so the first thing interviewer will check from the fresher BA in the interview. Okay, common skills. Second thing is the, it will take you what kind of a tools knowledge you have. So very basic tools, already explained, right? I created a Word video also, Microsoft Office tools, the Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Okay. Today I've talked about the emails. I mean, writing the emails that they will check. Okay. Then they will check about your the SharePoint thing. They might ask. I have explained enough today in the call. What is that? Okay, so please understand these basic things. They will definitely ask. The third thing they will ask related to the BA, the core competencies. I have talked many times in a lot of videos I have in this. Please go through that. The core competencies is what? Okay, the interaction skills. Different. They will talk a lot of bookish terms. What is invest method? Writing the user stories. What did you mean? Somebody knows? Please don't Google and type it here. Okay, I think I already talked about that. Right? What is the full form of invest? Why we use that? I will explain you. Okay, write that invest. What is the invest method we use for writing the user story? Type it, guys. Whoever are here, I think I very less audience, but whoever are there, type it. Okay, so invest method. What is the SWOT? What is the SWOT? Okay, what is Moscow technique? They will ask you some basic terms which you use definitions wise questions. So they will justify, they will think about you at least should be knowing these terms, right? Okay, if you're not perfect in that area, but you should be at least knowing those things, the terms. So if you really requiring to act as in your project for those terms, you should be comfortable. Or if your client is talking in that way, at least you should be responding in the same way. Okay, so so they will ask why we use Moscow technique. What is the purpose of using the Moscow technique? They should be explaining. The Moscow is to prioritize the requirement. The must, should, could, would. What is must? What is should? You should be explaining. Okay. So the basic bookish terms, definitions, they will ask. Okay. So that kind of questions you can expect. And another very important thing they will ask for a fresher BA. I'm assuming you are zero experience and you are going to join a first you are giving your interviews to join your first organization, never worked. That time they will ask you additional question is your academic project you have created in your third year or final year. If you are a BTech, then third year, final year, you will be creating some project, right? Internal project. And if it is your if you are not doing a first time, you already worked somewhere, then they will not ask you. Simply, they will not ask you. Okay. So that time you have to explain what project you created, how many team member you were there, what was your role in that project. Suppose you created some sample website. So what you did in that? Did you created a front end, React or Angular? Did you created a set the backend table, database design or etc. Okay, or you are UI UX guy? You just created the wireframe. If you created wireframe, which tool you have created? So these are all questions they will ask you. Okay, so please try to figure it out these things, understand. I have created the videos, you can go through these videos or you can want to google it. Anyway, you should be learning the core competencies of a business analyst. If you do that and you having a good communication skills, you will be cracking the interview, I am sure. Okay, so I hope it helped you. Okay, okay, invest. Nobody pinged me. Why? What happened? Hmm? Nobody knows what is the invest method. Hmm? Seriously? Okay. Invest we technique we use and is nowadays itself is a big organizations. They ask these questions. I'm telling you. In an interview and a regular job also, you're working for a client. They will ask you write the user story in an invest method. If you don't know invest method, then what you will do? Huh? So invest means it should be your user story. It is for user story. So your user story should be independent. What do you mean by independent? I means independent. What do you mean by independent? Independent means your user story should be, it should not be having any dependency. I mean, you can take it as a independent user story, code it, push it to the code base. I mean, there is no prerequisite or post requisite. It could be post requisites, but there is no prerequisite. I mean, there is no dependency to start writing the code for that story. That is the independent. N, invest ka N. N means negotiable. Negotiable means if some you should be able to convince why you need this user story, what is the benefit of this story, why you are implementing this story. Okay, and it's not like basically you should be convincing, okay, this is the story with this capability, this functionality we are implementing, and it will be achieving a larger aspect in the altogether later point of time. Okay, so it should be negotiable. Okay, we valuable, it's a value. It's not like we are just creating for fun, or it's a enabler or a spike feature or R&D feature. it's a it's a very in line to the product we are developing. It giving you this value. It's giving you this value. Okay, so you will develop. So suppose that story is talking about you're developing a UI. So you can say, yeah, if you develop this UI, it will further you can visualize the whole screen, the whole application. Or if it is an API development story, so with this help, with this API in future, you will be able to store the data from front screen to the backend table. Or if you can able to exchange the data from this external system to this system. So valuable. E, estimated. Estimated means you should be estimated properly. That I mean, it's not should not be like that you cannot estimate this is very big. It should be small enough that you can estimate and you can fit into the within the your sprint timeline. You cannot have a user story which cannot be estimated. It means which is not. You should be able to explain that requirement. Team should be able to understand the requirement, and team should be giving the estimate also. Estimable, something कहते हैं ना, estimable. Sized, S stand for sized. Sized means you should be sizing it. Sizing means what is that job size? 8 point, 3 point, 2 point, or 1 point. And then T, timely bound, that I would talk about, right? It can be done within the sprint, timely bound. So independent, negotiable, valuable, estimated, job sizable. You can do that sizing, and then timely bound. Okay, so that's the technique, is that, and then you can figure it out more on that later through googling or something. Okay, you might see little difference in the definition from website to website. You stick to one. Okay, don't try to adopt multiple websites definitions. Stick to one, either of. Okay, so any questions if you have? Okay, so I was talking like project now, so you have I will come to the main topic now. I think I've explained you enough on that as a fresher, and the questions Adil asked, I think. Okay, so the sure, I was talking initially, right? The core business skills you are utilizing when you join in a project. So you will be adopting or creating the release plan which is aligned to the product vision. Once it is done, then within that release plan you are creating, you should be aligning your user stories or features into that one. Once you align to that one, you can simply sit with the client stakeholders, prioritize them. It's already prioritized basically, but only the matter of within that release, it could be 3 months or 4 months. Within that, what they want to see, that is something you can bring it out, and you can bring that prioritized feature into the next sprint. Okay, that way it is keep on. So if there is a product plan change, product vision plan change, you have to immediately change your different release plans, team level different. If they are making change at top, you should be changing your strategy also down the line. Okay, you should be always tagging, matching. Okay, so rest of things I have already explained, guys. How you are documenting the requirement, how you are prioritizing the requirement, how do you what are the ceremonies in the skilled agile thing, how are the ceremonies in the sprint normal agile essential safe model. So that definitely you should be learning and applying in your real time projects and all. Okay, and then during the interviews you can ask me questions, guys. Otherwise, how I will be responding? You can ask me questions, what kind of things you want to um, explain. I mean, you're expecting me to explain, then I would definitely try to do that. Okay. Okay, thank you guys for the day. Hope given some knowledge. If it is working helpful, please adopt that. Keep learning, exploring the things from different platforms, not only limited to me, I will not say. Okay, do that best, whatever is best for you. Okay, keep learning, guys, keep growing. Thanks for joining today's call, this session. Keep sharing these videos with your friends. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Thank you.